Have you ever looked at a brand and just wondered, what makes it work? Not just the flashy ads, but the deep, intelligent thinking behind it all. Well, today, we're doing just that. We're cracking open the playbook of a company called Solve It to deconstruct exactly how they build their powerful brand strategy. This is a masterclass in turning chaos into clarity.
And right off the bat, they hit you with this. This is the central idea everything else is built on. It's so simple, right? But it's also so true. Having a great idea is useless if you can't make it happen. And just being busy without a plan, well, that's just chaos. This sets the stage for everything that follows.
So where does a really great brand strategy begin? It doesn't start with a product, it starts with a person and their problem. First, Solve It gets laser focused on the specific kind of chaos their audience is dealing with every single day.
And notice how specific this is. They're not talking to just any business owner. They're talking to a very particular type of person. Ambitious, smart, but completely and utterly overwhelmed. These are people who crave real, credible solutions and have absolutely zero time for fluff. We've all been here, haven't we? That constant buzz of operational noise, the absolute exhaustion of decision fatigue, but the one that really gets me is chaos disguised as progress. You know that feeling? You're running on a hamster wheel, incredibly busy, but you're not actually getting anywhere. It's just painfully relatable. And this is where it gets really, really smart. They move past the business problems and go straight for the core emotional needs. They understand that they aren't just selling a service. No, they're selling the feeling of control, the pride you get from knowing you're building something the smart way, and that incredible sigh of relief when the noise finally stops. Okay, so you've nailed the pain point. What's next? Every great story needs a twist, a turning point. This is where they introduce a revelation that completely changes how the audience sees their own problem. And boom, there it is. This is the aha moment. They totally reframe the narrative. See, the common assumption is that if you're struggling, it's your fault. You're not working hard enough, you're not smart enough. But Solve It says, no, you're wrong. The problem isn't you, it's your lack of systems. And that is so powerful because it takes the blame off the person and empowers them to find a solution. And that reframe leads directly to this core insight. This is the bedrock of their whole solution. It's all about shifting from making one reactive decision after another to building an intelligent framework that makes those decisions for you. It's the difference between trying to push a car up a hill and actually building an engine. So, if the problem is a lack of intelligent systems, what on earth does the solution actually look like? Well, let's dive into the philosophy behind their answer.
They call it a living system. Now, think about the traditional business plan for a second. You know, that giant binder that just sits on a shelf collecting dust? This is the exact opposite of that. It's not a static document, it's a dynamic framework that's always on, always connecting the dots between logic, tech, and actually getting things done.
I mean, this slide basically tells you everything you need to know about the company's DNA. It's a declaration of their values. They choose truth over what's trendy. They choose deliberate design over disorder. And my favorite, systems over slogans. At every single point, they are choosing substance over style, and that builds a ton of credibility. And it all comes together in this one perfect line. Their guide says to deliver it with calm confidence, and you can just feel it. This isn't a boast, it's a statement of fact. They're not giving you a passive document. They're delivering an active, intelligent asset. All right, so you've got this amazing philosophy. That's great. But how do you actually tell people about it? This next part is all about the how, the specific blueprint they use to tell their story. I just love this. In a world where every single brand is screaming for your attention, their entire approach is to calmly reveal a truth. It's not about being the loudest, it's about being the clearest, the most insightful. It creates this vibe of calm intensity. And of course, they map this journey out. They take their audience from that initial state of confusion to a moment of recognition where they see the real problem, then to the revelation, that aha moment we talked about, and finally to transformation, a state of clarity and control. It's a classic hero's journey, but for brand strategy. And what's totally genius is that they even turn their storytelling into a system. It's a 5-step formula they can use over and over. You open with the pain, you reveal the truth, you introduce the insight, you present the system, and you deliver the transformation. It's so on brand, it's not even funny.
So as we start to land the plane here, let's zoom out one last time and look at the big, overarching ideas that make this whole thing tick. This might be the most important rule of the whole playbook. Think about it. Instead of ending with a desperate buy now button, they end with a powerful truth that resonates. It builds authority, it builds trust, and it leaves the audience thinking. And that is so much more valuable than a hard sell.
And here's one of those truths. Strategy isn't a document. It's a lens. It's not something you make once and then file away in a drawer. It's a whole new way of seeing your business. It's the filter you use to make every single decision every single day. And here's another one. Just wow. At Solve It, intelligence isn't an adjective. It's infrastructure. This is brilliant. It takes this abstract concept of being smart and makes it real, tangible, foundational. It's not just about what they are, it's about what they build. And so, we'll end with the same challenge their brand guide leaves us with. After seeing all this, the question gets turned back on us. In our own work, in our own companies, in the stories we tell, are we actually revealing a truth, or are we just adding to the noise?